Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on Bitcoin Cash. Right now we're at $506. We're up 6.1%. It looks like we're having a nice little breakout here. And guys, the reason I wanted to bring this to you is because we really could run hard and fast. If we get some continued volume with this move here, there's not a lot of resistance over here. We fell so hard and so fast from about that $633 all the way down to about $77. And what's happening right now is we're actually breaking through that $453 resistance, and we're trying to make it back up to around that $633. So right now, guys, that's what I'm paying attention to, because what this was strong resistance here, and we broke through it pretty good. Looks like we even back tested on a few wicks there, and now we're trying to move up higher. The only concern that I have that I do want to pay attention to is the stochastic RSIs up around 94 and 93. So we are in pretty much extremely overbought conditions here on the one-day chart on the stochastic RSI. But guys, there's still a possibility for us to run pretty hard and fast out of here, just like this, how aggressive this fall was here. I mean, guys, to go from $633 down all the way to around $77 or so, that's pretty crazy. That's one heck of a drop there. So what's happening is we're trying to make it up on the backside, and what we've been having is beautiful higher highs and higher lows. So here's a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So far, we're going to see where it is, and then we would want to set a nice higher low as well and continue this move to the upside there, guys. That's what I'm paying attention to. I'm also looking at this purple trend line here. We want this to continue to get bounces off of, or us to continue basically to respect this trend line here. You can see this area here, we had a bullish engulfing candle off it, and that's what really pushed us to the upside here. It's been defended here. We're up above the 20 EMA, up above the 50, up above the 100, up above the 200-day moving average. So things are looking really good in that instance. But that's something that happens a lot, and I want you to be aware of it, guys. Whenever you fall so hard and so aggressively like that, a lot of times you'll make it up on that backside. Is it going to take time? A lot of times, absolutely, it's going to take some time. I mean, this whole trend that we've been in here, this intermediate term bullish uptrend, guys, we started this basically in December. So you think about it, it's been half a year to be able to make a move like this. So that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why we need to know how to trade, and we need to know how to take profits. Because think of it here, guys. I mean, look what you can save yourself if you're able to get out in these areas before you have these massive falls. Look over here. Each time as we are setting these lower highs and lower lows, there was always a reaction. We fell here, guys. There's always a reaction up, and that's what we have to pay attention to. But we need to know when to take profit. Think about this. Bitcoin Cash at one point, guys, was all the way up here around, I believe we wicked up to $4,000, and we went down to $77. And that's what you have to think about now. We have to flip our thinking, and we're in a bull market now. So realize how overextended we can get to the upside as well, just like we were over here. Do you see this bull market, guys, how fast and aggressive this was? So this took place August 5th, we'll say right in here, all the way to about December. So we're looking at all August, September, October, November. So about 4 or 5 months for our price literally to go from around $200 all the way up to $4,000. So we need to identify when we need to take these profits, guys. And even if you don't want to take profits in terms of obviously cashing it in, if you're able to hold that money in account and then the price goes back down, you're able to accumulate more. And that's the name of the game. That's what you want to do. But we want to identify trends. That's the biggest thing. And right now we are in that intermediate term bullish uptrend. So what I'm going to do next, we're going to go into a few different indicators. So we went to the stochastic RSI. We're in overbought conditions. Now let's take a look at our RSI and see how that's looking. So RSI, we're at 72 right now. We are in overbought conditions. We're still pointing up, though. We've been having higher lows coming in here. So what you can always do is draw a little trend line just like this. And these are the higher lows that we want to see stay intact right there. Now we are having a little bit of a divergence here. So the price is going up, price is getting higher, but our RSI was not necessarily getting higher there. So another thing I'd like to do is draw a trend line on top here, and we're going to see if we start to get any trend line breaks. So this is basically like a symmetrical triangle that we're in right here. So here's a touch, 2. We're basically at 3 touches here. We have about 3 down here. We're going to see if we break to that upside or if we're going to float around a little bit. Sometimes you can even just go outside or float outside of that symmetrical triangle. Then that makes it invalid. That's something that you want to look at as well. but we're at 72 there. So on the stochastic and on the RSI, we're in overbought conditions, but there still is more room to run. As you look over here, we've been up as high as 90 easily, guys. When we made this move right here, I'm sorry about that, right up in here, we were at around 90 on the RSI. So we can get very overextended, and that's what I want you to pay attention to today. And if you like these Bitcoin Cash videos, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tell me down low why you like Bitcoin Cash and what you think it's going to do in the future. But you can kind of see right here, we want a nice confirmation today. We'd want a nice close higher than we were yesterday. So that's what we're going to look for to see if we get any type of follow through. The next one, let's go to our Bollinger Bands and see how those are looking. So guys, we're outside of the Bollinger Bands as well. So that's what I just want you to keep on your radar. We're in that tight spot. It looks like, because we don't have a lot of overhead resistance, that we really could push up here, but some of the indicators were starting to get really stretched to the upside, just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin just keeps moving up. We basically hit around that $13,000, but the indicators are really getting to that overbought condition, so we are going to need a cool off at some point. Okay, guys, it always happens. You even see when we make moves here, and then it will fall back down, make moves, fall back down. And that obviously was the bear market, but you have to flip things in reverse. Each time we made a move here, we retraced. Made a move here, we retraced. Make a move, retrace. You always have to look at those things. Another thing I wanted you to pay attention to was the Fibonacci. We're going to do it from two different ways. So we're going to take it from here. We're going to see where we've reacted up to from this original fall. So guys, we are running right now into that 0.786 right now. So that's going to be a resistance that we do want to get up above, and that's going to be around, let's see, $515. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And then I'm going to fib it from this direction as well, right down in here. And we'll bring that up. Guys, this has been so bullish. I mean, we really haven't had a major cool down. We've just been dropping maybe, you know, like here, we pushed up. I mean, we have hardly even come back to back test that 0.236. That's how bullish we've been. We've just been continuously pushing up, pushing higher, wanting more. And that's this market. That's why we're in this market. Like I said, it's a wild Mustang, and this one really can run as fast and aggressive as it wants to run. Okay, so next one we're going to do here, we're going to take a quick little look at Bitcoin while I have a little bit of time here. And if you've never seen this, these are my tickers over here. These are some of the ones I'm keeping track of. There's some other ones I'm paying attention to, but we have XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Amisego is doing really well right now, Populous, Bitcoin, I'm looking at Civic, LTC, Ethereum, XRP, like I said. So I got a few different ones that I'm really paying attention to, and Bitcoin's definitely going to be one of them here, guys. We want to see how overextended we're going to end up getting here. Take a look at this move. That's something that's just unprecedented in most markets, guys. That's something that's really special. So the red lines were my overhead resistances there. We blasted right through this one. This area here where we were looking at, we had a double top. So we fell, we came back up, we made that M. Right there, we broke the neckline, continued to fall back down. So this is an area around that 11,531 that I want to see us stay up above. I want to see us try to close up above that, and or even consolidate on this area before we continue to make higher moves. Because same deal like we were looking at Bitcoin Cash, guys, this big drop that we were having here, right? Do you see this, how we've had this massive drop? When you make moves that hard, that fast and aggressive to either side, it's going to be made up on that opposite side. I mean, take a look at this, guys, for Bitcoin. You see this big parabolic run we had? What happened? We had to shake it all the way back out. And if you take your Fibonacci, and what I like to do, guys, is always look for those areas. So we'll roughly go, this is just going to be a rough Fibonacci. We'll go back down around this area, and we'll see how far we dropped. I mean, so essentially, guys, we dropped down. We retraced more than even the 0.786. That's how deep. We got down almost to that 0.886, around 2503. So that's how overextended to the upside and the downside these things can get, guys. But with Bitcoin, we want to pay attention. We're definitely very overextended. I'm sure the stock RSI here is probably around like 100 and 100, just due to how aggressive this move was. Yeah, guys, we are pegged out at 100 and 100 right now. This is unbelievable that we're still running this hard and this aggressive. Take a look at the chunky volume that came in there. So really watch this candle today. We're going to pay attention to see where it closes. We want to try to get a close up above that 11,531. So let's keep an eye on this candle. If all of a sudden, guys, we have the massive wick and it closes back down here, then that may be a sign that we're going to start finally rolling back over and see maybe if we can find some support down there first. Like I said, at 11,531, then I'd look down to around that 9,867 or $10,000 psychological level. And this is what's so different about Bitcoin, guys, as we talk about getting overextended. So as you see, we came back down here, then we started to really have all this fighting and indecision, all these indecision candles right up in here, like a doji you can see there. And a lot of times you'll look for that and that'll show indecision, then you'll start having a retracement or cool back down, then you'll set a higher low and pop back up. But with Bitcoin, you always have to be aware, guys, even when it looks like it's going to the downside, it really can blast to that upside. And that's why you want to be careful. You always want to trade with the trend. You don't want to be trying to short Bitcoin when Bitcoin's going absolutely nuts. I know the stochastic's at 100 and 100 and we're extremely overextended, but you don't want to just jump into a situation right now and say, okay, we're extremely overextended, let me jump into this and start shorting Bitcoin. That's a very dangerous thing to do. So you'd always want to wait for confirmation and see what's happening to both the upside and the downside, and really let these things run when they're running. Same with Bitcoin Cash, guys. When it's running, just let it run right now. Let's pay attention to see where we start to stop, and then you want to look for confirmation. It's all about confirmation. So I don't want to keep you guys too long. I already kept you 11 minutes here. I apologize for that. But I wanted to get into some Bitcoin stuff here. Pay attention to being overextended in terms of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, all that stuff. And if you like these videos, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you being here with me today. God bless each and every one of you. I'll try to get another video out, one or two more today. So I'll do the best I can. Got a lot of work with my other business as well. So take care, my friends.